There we go, coughing sound check. Alright, let's see. Hey everybody, we're just gonna get started. I think today what we're gonna do is, actually let's do like a warm-up. Let's do like a little baby warm-up first, just to make sure everything's moving right. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Awesome. We'll start slow. Just hang out with the group for a little bit. It looks like we have that like 81 TSS scored, whatever. So that will be fun, but a little bit cold today. So we'll give it a second. Alright, also we're in some bad gearing for up here. There we go. Alright, cool. So this one, 2.3 watts per kilogram. That's going to put us around 180 watts, I think. 190, somewhere in there. So not big. Easy zone 2 stuff. Also, is that a Madone? Do we just see a blue Madone? Where are all these colored Madones coming from? They're so cool! We still need to unlock that and see how that works. I've seen that in a bunch of colored Pinarellos. I love them. Oh, and luckily, looks like this is the start of the group's loop. We get started right at the beginning. That's fantastic. And there's a cute Shiba Inu. Alright, let's see. So this loop shouldn't have too much topography. Pretty flat. Nothing crazy. So we'll just hang with the group. We're starting to pull away from Maria. So we'll hold up. We can't drop that multiplier. That's number one. Biggest priority is suck as many points as we can out of it. Let's see, 2.3. Okay, yeah, so 2.3, 2.3 watts per kilogram is going to put us around 190. Usually the robo pacers just go really fast up this hill, but kind of painfully slow. We'll see how it is today. They seem to jump around on the uphills and downhills. Also, I have an aero bar that's angled funny. Let's see if we can push that back into place. I need to bolt those down harder. I know the bull bars aren't the problem. I can't tell what is. Must be the spacers causing us problems. It's also, let's check if we have enough water for today. Oh yeah. We got 2 bottles. We'll do a little ride for this one, try to get through most of one. And move on to the next. Bottle and a half ride or something. That should be okay. Ooh, Suya is hauling. Check that out. All right, so it looks like we may want to use this as a test day and see how we feel during the main set workout. Since today is 81 on the TSS, whatever, tummy suffer score, or whatever it refers to. But we got this. I think we have a slightly easier one, and then we have the 100 TSS, and then another whatever scored one. We'll check for sure after this, but either within the next 3 workouts, we're going to be running into the 100, which it looks like they have the AC intervals along with the same like kind of AC but ramp up versions. So that's going to be interesting. It's a little spooky, just sitting there with triple digits. But whatever it takes, we'll just gut it out until it works. We'll see. Luckily, we should be able to get some pretty decent distance out of it. Thanks, Tana. So we'll see. It's a good trade-off, you know. The workout's not very long, and the intensity's pretty high, so we can get some quick miles in, or in this case, kilometers. Where's our mouse? There it is. We almost missed a bunch of ride-ons. That would have been bad. We're good. We're good. Keep losing my mouse. At least this one's wired. I've been using a wireless mouse for a while, and every time I like jump into a command line, you're not using your mouse at all, so it goes to sleep, and then it just doesn't want to wake up, so you have to like search all over your desktop for where the actual pointer is, even after it wakes up. Very first world problem, but it's still annoying. Hey, there's a CompuTrainer kit. Good times. I guess okay times. I remember when I was first using the CompuTrainer was when, or actually not the first time using CompuTrainer, but a ways into using CompuTrainer, the first time we used like online game kind of writing like this. Instead of being, you know, something you could see the bike and all the cool stuff that came with that, it was like you had a track, whatever it was, actually up over here, top right hand side, this little like horizontal map. It looked a lot like that, and you would just have a dot where you were, and then it would change the difficulty from the hills and stuff. It was the most boring thing ever. It was really cool at the time because that's all there was, but I don't know. It didn't sell me on like online stuff. Plus the network infrastructure was horrendous. So you're looking at like, you know, horrible download speeds. So even on the LAN, since everything's standardized to 100 megs a second, it was still struggling every once in a while to keep everybody updated. The polling was not working well. But now luckily everything's getting fast enough that you can actually do stuff like this. It's so cool. Until it breaks. Then it's no fun. That's my one fear for switching over to standardized WAN circuits being on fiber is I've worked with so many of them, and when you get a cut on a coax or Ethernet circuit, you're usually looking at like a 5-6 hour repair, if that, maybe 2-3 if they're on top of it and it's in an easily accessible area. But those fiber circuits, like the OS2 stuff, when they get cut, it's bad news. They take forever. I had a circuit go down. I was working with them and they took 3 days to get it back up. Because of course, you gotta polish the endpoints. You gotta make sure that the light doesn't diffract at all on that like new junction point. A nightmare. It's super, super fast for long distance. But man, if this stuff goes wrong, it goes south hard and takes forever to come back up. But hopefully, with the wider introduction of it, there'll be more Tacx ready to go, and that might solve the issue. We'll see. Hopefully. It's no reason to not have fiber. Like, that needs to be the standard. You can't really get away with long distance WAN circuits with regular copper. But if they could figure out a way to make the repairs faster, that would probably be best. All right, let's ditch this sweatshirt. It's a little warm. Actually, the fiber cut that was like a month ago or whatever that I ran into, I can't remember who the ISP was, but they sent a picture and it ended up being caught in an auger while they were doing some construction, and there was just like hundreds of feet of OS2 fiber all coiled on this stupid auger. Destroyed it. They hit the conduit and just yanked it out from both ends. It was a nightmare. I don't know if I made it to the junctions on the other ends, but it was bad. You know it's bad when the ISP sends you pictures of the issue. The only time I've ever had them reach out, whatever company it is, and send you pics of it, you know that something has gone catastrophically wrong. But then it's fun, because then you get to save a bunch of pictures and have a folder of just fiber catastrophic failures. It's a good collection. Hopefully they start laying some more down now. I'm interested in the Google Fiber stuff, because I don't know if they're laying that down and then putting it as lease lines or dark fiber, or how they're running it. So of course they're going to provide some, but I don't know if it's just them sending light down or they're leasing it or what. Usually with copper you got, leased lines between the groups. AT&T has a huge majority of, I know lots of Cox Type 2 ISPs are running across AT&T lines. Lumen has a bunch, or CenturyLink, whatever they want to be called for the day. I don't know, it's good stuff, but lease lines are a pain. So hopefully, when I start laying down dark fiber, they keep it centralized to at least a little more consistency of the group. Nothing's worse than opening up a ticket with an ISP and realizing it's like a Type 3 provider. Then you end up with 3 tickets down the line So then your updates take hours. And of course, currently, if it's fiber, usually means it's going somewhere big. And when they're down, it's no good. Hopefully they have some redundancy. Also, they cost so much, you would think they would have like hot standby for repairs, but I don't know. I'm not on the ISP side of things, which I'm kind of glad I'm not. It's cool. They have some cool equipment, cool setups, but it looks frustrating. I think it was like last year. We had all sorts of issues because Lumen, maybe it was Lumen? I don't remember who it was. Also, we'll redact any names just in case, but somebody pushed a BGP peer change that took out like the western coast for a good 20 minutes, so all the MPLS circuits were DOA, and it was, yeah, I can't imagine getting chewed out for that. That would have been bad. I just remember running into like all these BGP peers that just apparated. It's like, what? This isn't good. Hopefully they didn't do a right to startup config. That is the nice part about having the startup and running config, is if you really screw something up, you can reboot and it's like nothing happened other than the outage. And of course you got to write up your RFO for the I did dumb things, things broke. But if stuff's back up, people are usually a lot happier to deal with you. Trying to grab an RFO from something that's still hard down is not fun. Usually that doesn't happen too much. If you keep your distance from stuff. Let's see, 10 kilometers. So let's try to get in like 20, 25 minutes for this warm-up. See how we feel from there. I don't know how we're still keeping the multiplier with Maria like 30 meters off the back. A week and a half ago we got what, 26 meters, and it reset our multiplier. So I guess it's just feeling a little more generous today, which I'm okay with. Like, that's no problems, but I don't know, I'm still lost on how it verifies if you still have your multiplier or not. Seems a little random. I've kept it 40 meters away and then I've lost it, you know, like previous 26 meters. It's weird. It's got to be in that source code somewhere. All the answers buried up in the source code. But I'm not a programmer, so I probably wouldn't be able to read it correctly. Especially if notes were taken. Nothing's worse than reading through a program that there's no notes on. Can't figure out what points to what does what. If then statements that just look superfluous end up being core to the program. Honestly, the notes probably at the time of creation aren't that bad, but you know, person who writes it isn't always going to be with the company, so that's always a nightmare, trying to reverse engineer what's put together. There's been a couple times hopping into company equipment, like from different IT jobs, jumping in, and they've had a engineer who's just like gone crazy with it and had a cool setup that works, but it's like there's no documentation and no port descriptions, and nightmare, absolute nightmare. Gotta try to track down where stuff goes. Just hope everything's working, and then of course make the changes, not copy to start, and see if stuff breaks. That's one issue I found. 2 weeks ago when we were having the network issues, I realized that some of the software-defined networking equipment that we're using currently doesn't have a, easily accessible running and startup config that are discrete from one another. That made troubleshooting absolute nightmare. I also found I did some dumb configurations and put an ACL on the router that was blocking all traffic from a certain subnet that I was trying to access. So of course, in that case, SDN was not the problem. It was user error, which that seems to happen a lot. You can always blame the equipment, but for the command to get there in the first place, it has to be user input, which is a little embarrassing. However, I have had a lot of problems with SDN stuff, especially enterprise. Data center SDN is usually pretty solid since it's been around for a while, but now that it's getting pushed to enterprise, I don't know, we've had some weird issues in the past. Trying to work on stuff, I don't know. Stuff breaks and it shouldn't. Like no changes are made and stuff gets pushed. Since it's SDN, sometimes they have, automatic updates and junk like that. They're really nice until they push an update, do a firmware change, screws it, and then you got to track down what automated adjustment was made to break everything. That's my complaint for the day. SDN cool until not cool. Except looking into VMware NSXT, just jumping into that. That looks pretty solid. It'll be interesting. Trying to finish up the lab right now to get it all working, but I haven't finished vSAN base layer to actually begin the hyperconvergence process. So it's taken a while. So vSAN is expensive. Trying to get everything to run with each other. I love VMware, it's the greatest stuff on earth, but sometimes there's certain drivers or hardware that it just denies, just doesn't work with, and it breaks, and it's sad. I've been able to get away with a lot of trial hosts, hypervisors on desktop equipment, and every once in a while it's like the SATA drivers won't work or the SATA connections aren't supported, or the Ethernet adapters aren't supported, and you got to buy a bunch of expansion hardware to get it to work. When it works, but sometimes trying to get it there is a little difficult. Of course, we got data center pockets. You don't have to worry about that. However, on the upside, you got desktop equipment that breaks. It's desktop prices. You got data center equipment that breaks. You have data center prices. And that is bad. I still don't understand how data centers are afforded. They're so expensive. I was trying to look up and see what Zwift uses for their back end. Because honestly, it's pretty fluid. Haven't been able to find what yet. I think it's a on-premise kind of setup, but who knows? There's probably some AWS mixed in there somewhere. AWS is cool, but on-premise, that's cool stuff. However, they are introducing like kind of on-premise AWS connections. You can buy a rack, directly goes over to your AWS cloud infrastructure. Cool stuff. Expensive, of course. You're buying a rack with, you know, server network, SAN, whatever, all in one. So not cheap. Also, I wonder how it integrates into the VMware stack. Because AWS uses VMware as their bottom end. So I wonder. I need to look into that more. It looks cool. I checked online to see if there's any used equipment, but I think once you're done with it, it goes right back to Amazon. Because like Google, at least, with their Dell 740Xs, they throw those up onto eBay, like right after they're done with them. So you can get like 2015, what was it? Like Scale Gen 1, was it Scale or was it 2860 V4s? You know, relatively new Xeon setups for some pretty good prices. All right, let's hold up for Maria for a second. It looks like the entire group left her in the dust. Let's drop down a gear. There we go. Right now, speaking of Amazon stuff, right now all of our recordings for the streams are getting backed up to a repository in a ZFS cluster on a virtualized VMware host. I'm looking through. VMware has some like Minio Direct Connect S3 workarounds where you can do on-prem and cloud integrations to S3 with, you know, all their erasure coding and cool stuff. Might need to switch over to that. I have a bunch of disks just burning holes in my pockets. I love storage, so I always end up buying way too much. And right now we have like 100 terabytes of just unused drives sitting around. And you can mismatch on S3 stuff. The erasure coding just takes into account different disk sizes, along with like different speeds, which is super cool. I don't know. We'll have to see. Doing some cert work on S3. After you get a better idea, we'll have to make a video about it. It'd be kind of fun. Because S3 is cool stuff. Super cool stuff. Very versatile. I like it. Usually object storage is a little slow in comparison to folder, like file storage, but S3 has done wonders. Also, S3, like object storage in general, is really nice to manage in comparison. I don't know, it's cool. I'll have to keep looking into it though. I was gonna try to publish some storage videos just for kicks, because we've got a bunch of projects going, and why not? Plus, if I had $1 for every time I have panic searched some upgrade setup or something on YouTube while watching a maintenance window close down, I'd have a lot of dollars. So, you know, hopefully we can help somebody else. So many times just scared Google searching on how to upgrade X or how to set up Y. It's not a good feeling. You can see that, you know, timer going down of your maintenance window, and makes it exciting. It's a rush you don't always want to get. All right, let's see, we're at 30 minutes. Let's grab some water. So there's Maria, 20 meters. Okay. Let's go like 25 kilometers and then call it, swap over, jump into the main set. Oh, we got a hill. Thanks, G. Also, let's see, we got, yeah, Maria's catching up. I'm telling you, uphills is where the robo-pagers make up all their average wattage output. They kick it into gear going up hills. Sometimes, actually, I take that back. Sometimes it's the downhills. They all of a sudden just take off. This is actually a little bit different. I forgot. Usually it's the uphills that they slow way the heck down. But not today. I wonder if the robo-pacers adjust to the group at all. Or if they're affected by power-ups and stuff. Again, there's a lot of stuff I wonder if there's any answers for, if it's just, it's somewhere in the source code, we'll never see it. That SZR kit to our, what is that, 4 o'clock? It's cool. I like it. That blue and like gold. It's like the Subaru 555 livery, however you say it. Hey look, we have a McCurry Island friend. Hey bud, we match. I have to say, I think so far, this is one of my favorites. Favorite kits so far. I think my phone needs to be charged. Forgot to plug it in. There we go. Okay, we're good. We're set. Ready to go. Ooh, I like that beat kit. It's like the Tiffany blue color, or green, or whatever it is. Teal? The Tiffany color. Whatever it is. It's one of my favorites. I like that. Usually looks really good on stuff. It is copyrighted, so you can't get the exact shade. But, of course, paint matching is a nightmare in itself, so, you know, you can just attribute it to copyright instead of having a hard time color match. At least that's what I do. It's not a lame excuse if it works, so we're gonna stick with it. I like that Digi kit, like the digital one. I know like something to do with Nokia. It's cool though. Big fan. Ooh. Whoa, what's going on over here? That's somebody do a little bit of a back end slide. Do a Scandinavian flick on us. All right, we're at 20 kilometers. Let's just spin out a little bit more. Then we'll hop into the big stuff. Hope for the best. Oh, we had an EMP there for a second. Lost the trainer. I did some troubleshooting on that to see why that happens with our cadence and power, and looks like the PC is just kind of junked. We have all the parts for the new one, other than the cooling system is still taking its time coming in. For some reason, EK had a bunch of water cooling equipment on sale, and all of it's on back order. And then I'd updated and they had all of it ready to go except the tubing, and for some reason I can't find tubing of good quality anywhere. So we're still waiting on that. So we have all the hardware, but no means of cooling it. I don't have any LGA 1700 cooling compatible equipment. I think the only blocks I have currently are for like what was that, LGA 1300s? I can't remember what socket it is. I haven't had to buy anything for them for a while. Like the 8000 series, 8 gen Intel kind of stuff was the last time I had to buy blocks for the CPUs. I don't remember what socket that uses. Something interesting. Let's see. Okay, Marie usually picks it up on this uphill. So let's spin up a little bit. And then hopefully merge back in with the group. I don't know why it just threw us back there for a second. It didn't like us being up there, I guess. Wanted to chuck us to the back again. And to the outside. We got, oh man. We got hit. All right, we're good now. Now we're getting some draft. All right, we're at 23. Let's pull up onto 25 and hop over. Ooh, I like that Tiger Strike kit, that blue one. I need to figure out how to unlock that. So we get that, that's what I wanted. I'm gonna use that forever. I love that one. That and the donut one are some of my favorites. I think I've said that to like every kit we've run into today. I'm easily impressed, but those ones are definitely some of the higher up ones. All right, let's see. 23.6. We should get to the Hidden Reef section by 25, and then we'll hop on. Hey boy, how's it going, man? We're just doing some warm-up before regular time trial work. Hopefully it's fun stuff. We'll see. We'll see. That's what's up. Keep forgetting to make anything for lunch until like the last minute. It's like going out the door. It's like, oh wait, eating is a necessity. It's difficult. That happens. You know, you can just attribute it to calorie count or something. I don't know. Whatever makes the situation feel better. Ooh, what's that kit? Let's see, there's a name on the back. Foray? Oh, we've seen a couple new kits in this ride so far that are kind of cool. Like the ADHR kit, I haven't seen that live one before. Oh no, wait, we have. It does. The eating is important. It's hard to remember that. Oh, by the way, I checked out that 38-minute stream for the Alps. That was killer. Way to go. That was quite impressive. The Alps, that's a tough ride. But they do a good job of at least putting, you know, the gear at the top. So there's extra incentive. I still need to run that more. Get the rest of that gear. I haven't done climbs for a while. Oh, that totally makes sense. From the numbers you were putting out, I would have been in pain 10 seconds in. That was a killer time. That one, I remember the first time trying the Alps, my trainer was broken. And it was like going super high cadence and like it just wouldn't pick up the wattage. So I guess it made it a lot easier the first time because, you know, it forced into super low zones, but even going low zones it hurt. Like it gets steep. I do need to work on climbing though. It's kind of one of my currently weaker zones. It used to be okay back doing tries, but doing the bodybuilding and powerlifting stuff made it so it's noticeably not as comfortable with the extra weight. But we're getting there. We're going back. We're hopping around. But of course, you know, I can't blame it on weight. You just need to, you know, just go faster. That's the easiest way, I guess. Let's see, where are we at? 25. There's the sea monster. Finally, he's back. I thought they got rid of him. That made me sad. Whatever yokai or whatever he is. I love it. Hiding off in the rocks. Ooh. See, somebody was going for it. Yeah, there's like a blue, like I think it's some sort of yokai, like Japanese mythical guy, but he's over on the left side every once in a while. I saw like a tail once, and then this last time he's just sitting up on the rocks. I haven't seen him for like a solid like 2 weeks. I was worried they had removed it or something, but he's back. Just very stealthy. I have a couple kind of like Easter egg kind of stuff in this new these new islands. I'm liking it. Now let's see, we're at 26.7. Yeah, let's back off one more gear. Finish out to 44, and then we'll hop into the painful stuff. The ouch intervals. This should be okay though. I think 2 days ago was ranked as a harder workout, so we'll see. They all feel the same once you're mid-interval, but afterwards, the recovery part of it. We'll see how that is. All right, so there we go. 44. No, actually, let's do 27.1. It's gonna kill me if it rounds down. There we go. I've had it round down on us one too many times. It makes me sad. Then you're just so close. All right, let's see. We got plans. View plan. Week 8. Let's see. Oh, okay. So that's Fridays. Maybe we switch and do this one Saturday. Actually, you know what? We'll see how we feel. We'll plan for the 100 tomorrow and hope for the best. There we go. We haven't done this course yet. Oh, it's in the new island area. Okay. I'm down with that. The Mech Island area with the non-copyright infringement Gundam parts. Except they look very similar to Charizard 2 colors, just a little bit brighter. I love that. It should be good. We'll see. The ramp ups are a little spooky, but luckily not too much Zone 5 stuff. This time trial tune-up workouts, it was like really nice in the beginning. A lot of Zone 3, Zone 4, and then this last week 6, 7, and 8, they decided that they're going to replace it all with Zone 5. Which is good in the end, but in the moment, man, it's Zone 5 is Zone 5. That's good. I was a little bit worried because I was like, oh man, like, you know, top end power doesn't really get touched through these workouts, and yeah, I wish I could go back and redact those words because it's not so much. I are back with Zone 5 stuff. But all good. It's survivable. Especially when we got a nice warm up at low wattage. Oh, that's a cool kit. I like that one. That one looks like the what is it? The Jungle Loop jersey. Same kind of colors to it. Let's see, we're running water. We're running a little heavy on water today, which I will take over running low on water any day. Other than that means that we probably haven't been drinking enough. I'll have to remember to do it in between intervals. Let's see. Okay, luckily it gives us a pretty decent warm-up. So we're doing warm-up on warm-up. A little bit of Zone 4. Not too much. Should be okay. There's a little car hiding out over there. I love the water. It looks so nice. I tried to turn up the graphics a little bit. I don't know why, but the encoding on OBS just was not having it. And I think I'm outputting at 1280, so I don't think it would actually change anything on the stream. It's only a local, so it kind of defeats the purpose. Only host side, sadly. Usually you don't want host side stuff going client side, but not in this case. Maybe once we get the parts replaced. Ooh, what's that kit? That's fancy. All right, 1 minute, 15 seconds. And we got the real stuff. Or I guess the warm up to the Zone 4 warm up to the cool down to the real stuff. So a ways out. We're getting closer. Actually, there's the gate over there. Cool, cool. We'll see. I don't know if I do. They're like really bright retro kits. I'm always a huge fan of. I agree with that. I like when they just kind of go crazy with it. So like the 70s color scheme can be done well, and usually the colorful kits in Zwift kind of have that vibe, and I'm down with it. Usually all the real kits are either one end of the spectrum or the other, where they're super bright or kind of dark. The color matching, yes. It's like you either have to be super multicolored or like super kit matched. Those ends look good. Oh, that would be so great. I love the Buffalo bike. I didn't know about it for the longest time, and the first time I saw it, it was, what was it? Somebody had a Zip Super 9 combo with it, and it looked so funny. I loved it. That, and I think I saw it on the safety bike too. It honestly looked kind of good. Yes, the rainbow disc wheel, that's the one. That is such a cool wheel. Plus it's Zip. I love Zip. Except, I think my Zips have a small hole in the tire because I keep losing air. But since it's on a front block, it's not moving. Yeah, I have some 808s, not the Firecrest ones, the ones right before Firecrest, so I think like 2010. Exactly. Yes. The only downside to that is add Zip, subtract all of the money. I do love them, but they're hard to get used to, honestly. Switching to like a time trial bike, the ride gets a lot less comfortable, and then throwing the Zips on there, you hit a rock and there is no give. It was a little jarring. Yep, that's the equation. Plus Zip minus money, I guess, equals more happiness in the end, maybe. Hopefully. Somewhere in there. Yeah, except, you know, if you get them used, the Aero wheels, I tried some on my Madone. Did I actually? I think I tried some. No, I only actually used climbing wheels on Madone. I would say for long rides, they're a little bit noticeable, and then they're more noticeable on climbs that you'd have the extra weight. You do feel like a little bit quicker, but I think a lot of that's placebo. But the times, you know, end up working out better. But climbs and side winds, those were all times when they're very noticeable in a very negative way. The Orbea I'm using right now has an integrated headset, so you can't really turn the wheel or turn the handlebars as aggressively. And that, plus, you know, crosswinds, made it so turning was a little interesting. I don't know. I remember racing with somebody, and they had, I can't remember who the manufacturer was. They had like a 808 or an equivalent, and a disc in the back, and it sounded so cool. But they looked like they were having a time with it whenever they had hit hills. It looks a little interesting. Oh, honestly, it sounds so cool. It's like there was there's somebody that I would only run into in like the bigger races, and I had a slightly faster swim than them, but they had a faster bike. So it was like, we going out and all of a sudden you'd hear that like that vroom, like that whooshing noise, and it's like, oh, here they come. Sounds like a jet. It's so cool. Honestly, for the sound alone, I think it's worth it. It's just so awesome. Other than they're so expensive. But they are, they're a little scary. You can like hear them coming up on your tail, and it's like usually the aero helmets kind of deaden all the sound because you're so wrapped up, but the disc wheels make it through. That is incredible. That is so cool. That's the way to do it. Exactly. Oh, that's beautiful. I'd seen like a picture on Twitter or somewhere of someone doing that, and that is just the coolest thing ever. I love that. Tosh did this. Respect to that. Plus, I mean, you can't argue with the disc too. The suckers are so awesome. Keep looking online, seeing if anybody has like used ones they're trying to get rid of. But you can usually find some like decent kind of deeper section wheels, but discs are hard to find. It's like either gotta buy them new or get extremely lucky. Or, you know, sponsors just have them buy them or whatever, but it's a little out of the range. If I had a disc, have to put stickers on it though. That is like the perfect surface to just kit it out in good stickers. That's what they should add. They should make it in Zwift, add that kind of CSGO, put stickers on everything approach. I'd be down with that. Not if there was loot boxes, but if they had stickers, I'd be all over that. It would be cool. Ooh, we're finishing up second threshold. All right. I didn't even notice. I'm happy with that. That's good. That's good. Hopefully it stays that way. We're gonna notice the zone 5. We can pretend up to this point. I was looking at the Super 9 disc here, and yeah, it's trying to unlock it so hard. They should make like, you know, Dragon Lore disc wheels. Just be the greatest thing ever. Then you know, just get as expensive of a bike in game as you have outside a game. That I've been pretty okay with buying with like staying away from like loot boxes and stuff, but I don't know what it is at CSGO. I don't run with them, or those are just, they're so much fun. You know, you just get no good skins out of the boxes, and then I hop onto somebody's account and look at all like the nice equipment they have, and then go back to opening again. Hopefully getting a knife within the lifetime. I haven't played CSGO in a while. I need to give it another shot. Except they added like gloves and what else did they add? They added some more stuff that you have to be careful. They're all so expensive. Exactly. You can have one of the like inspect item buttons. That way if you're spectating somebody, you can just be flipping around stuff. I love that. It's always so funny when the round ends and everybody whips out whatever high-end item they have, knives, guns, whatever, and start inspecting like crazy. It's like ends in all of it. There you go, you know, like have like the helmets that have like some effects on them and stuff. Oh, I love Tia2. That's such a good game. I love their cosmetics because they just go for it. They're always like so unhinged and it's beautiful. That is hardcore. I respect that. I have, my numbers for Tia2 are pitiful. I don't even remember what I have. I need to put more time into it. What was it? I think right now my most played is like, whatever, Final Fantasy 14, whatever the MMO one is. And it's like, my numbers are not good. My numbers are, and it shows whenever I get into game, it's, yeah, it's, you can tell it's bad. 11K, that is so awesome. I remember breaking like 300 or something in CSGO, and I was so proud of myself. Yes, yep, Final Fantasy 14, that's the one. I haven't played that in a while. I need to hop back on. I got sidetracked with the Honkai Impact. It's so nice because you can just have it going at work and not have to worry about it. That and Mike's gotcha system's pretty decent. Oh, that's so cool. There's a couple of those like speedrun videos with Valve games. They always look so good. That is awesome. That's so cool. That one, whenever I get in game, it's like I'll get like one good round in, and then the following rounds I just get obliterated. I've only usually played it on, I think I have it on Steam. I was playing at my friend's for a while. And I remember I was definitely the weak link in the team. That's so cool. I love the like Tia2 and Counter-Strike like surfing and jump maps and all that. Those are so fun. There you go. It does carry over nicely. It's true. You just get used to, yep, repeated hours of the same thing. It's always worthwhile in the end though, you know? We've got a lot of PRs over here. I need to give the TF2 like jump maps another shot. I had a bunch of servers saved. They're probably all dead. At least whenever I jump on, it's like the servers I had played on are empty. Always sad. Except TF2 usually holds on for a long time. I'll come back like a year later and there's still stuff. Yeah, exactly. There's always, I feel like the MVM servers have held on for a crazy amount of time. Which is pretty cool. And good for them. Keeping it all up and stuff. It really is. Trying to swap over was like I tried to play it like regular TF2 and I was like, oh man, this is different. Like very different, but really cool. They did a good job on that. That was a fun game. Right now, Final Fantasy a little bit. That one's been hard to get to. But what's another one? I started picking up Minecraft again, just because that is the greatest. I love that. I played Terraria for all that was last week, actually. That one's pretty good. I'm like exactly, it's like every couple months, or, 5 or so months in between, and then go to town for a while, and then back on break again. I keep like setting up servers, and then, yeah, exactly, you get to kind of the plateau area once you get diamonds, at least. Mine's usually like diamonds or mine carts. Once I get to there, it's like I feel like I've survived enough, and then hop back out. I have so many VMs running of old Minecraft servers that are like a couple hours put in, spin it up, have a burst of it for a while, and then back to nothing. Yeah, honestly, that's every time. Yes. It's like whenever you go back to previous worlds, it's always funny to see like half-finished houses, and it's like you can always remember the plans for them. They just never come to fruition. I need to give Minecraft another shot. I saw they had a VR mod for it I wanted to try, but it looked like it was pretty nauseating. Exactly. That was my last Minecraft burst. I had decided I wanted to build the city for Maiden Abyss, and so I like put all this time into digging a huge hole, and then forgot about it. Yeah, exactly. Get the 20 sacks of diamond, and then yeah, that was especially with the new update where they doubled the depth. I feel like it could be pretty cool. And it was yeah, we're on the same wavelength. That's what's up. I was looking for mods to see if they had that, like some like mobs or something. Yeah, the little village was so cool. That is an awesome show, or manga, or both. I think they're coming out with another season or movie or something here in a bit. I can't remember. I got, where was it? The first half was just so good. I can't remember where I got with the manga. I watched the first season and the movie, and I definitely agree. Kind of that halfway point after, what is it, like 6th layer? At least in the manga, it was I kind of lost interest for a second. From what I've seen, it gets, really good. So I'm hoping there's just kind of a lull, and then it goes back to like what the original was. Because, man, that first, like you said, the whole descent chapters and stuff were so cool. Whenever I'm scuba diving, all I can think about is like instead of the decompression syndrome, it's like, oh no, what if like my eyes start bleeding? It's exactly the same. That's what I liked out when originally I was looking through. I was like, no way, they have decompression syndrome from mining. It's just like scuba diving. I just like the overall idea of it. It's just like really cool. I really hope that, yeah, I can't remember what chapter I was on. I have it saved somewhere, like wrote it down and then forgot about it. It is. I need to catch back up. I had it, whatever the newest chapter was, I had finished it, but that was like a year ago. And they've come out with like another volume, so I'm super behind. But from the screenshots I've seen, it looked really cool. Again, hopefully they kind of swing back around to like what the first half was, because it was so good. They also just came out with a Switch game for it, but was it a Switch or it's like Switch or PlayStation 3, but it's exclusive, and it looked interesting. I think it's only the first half. It looked pretty cool, but I don't have a Switch or a PlayStation. It made me very sad. All the best anime games are like Nintendo or PlayStation exclusive. Made in Abyss, Girls in Panzer. Oh, what's the other one? There was a third one, I can't remember what it was. They're always exclusives for the one console I don't have. Yeah, I saw it. It looks so good. I need to track that one down again. I think I can't remember what they have it on. Exactly. What could be better? I remember finding clips of it on YouTube originally, and it was like, I don't know what this is, but it's incredible. Plus they put some cool tanks in there. Like the T-28 and the Mouse and stuff like that. That's such a great show. I'm still trying to track down the rest of the Blu-rays. They have like so many. A bunch of... That's exactly what I did too. That is one of my top 10 favorites. It's so good. They're always so hard to find on Amazon. It's like when I see them pop up on streaming services, I get so nervous their copyright's gonna expire and then it just disappears again. And then usually, especially the anime ones, it's like either Funimation has a Blu-ray for it or like they're impossible to track down. It's always one or the other. Like the original Berserk TV show is just impossible to find other than like YouTube. Somehow it slipped past. And then like the Golden Age arc, it's like you can either buy the 3 movies on Amazon for like triple over their value or find some knockoff version of it It's so frustrating. I just want to buy the shows. They make it so difficult. And then at least with the DVDs, you don't have any worries about copyright. Who was it? Berserk is, I read the manga first, and it is definitely, like, that has stayed number one since I read it, but it is intense. It's, on a couple of the chapters, I had to be in the right mood, otherwise it makes me super sad. The shows definitely aren't as good, but they get, in my opinion, at least like 80% of the way there. I like them overall. They have, what is it? I think Netflix has the 3 movie adaptations. The shows themselves, so the Berserk 2016 is kind of a nightmare. They switch between studios, between 2D and 3D animators. So it's it's a trip. I'd save that one for the last. Yeah, it is it's a bit of a train wreck. Overall, there's the shading done for 2D on 3D assets, and it's interesting what they were trying to go for, or at least what they're trying to salvage, but it's definitely a hard one to get through. The TV one, yes, exactly. It's it's really, really bad. I watched it. I don't know, yeah, the 1997 one. Everybody loves that one. I haven't seen the full thing since they're a little bit harder to find. I know there's a playlist on YouTube of all of them. The animation, there's a lot of like still frame with zoom effects, but overall it's really good. The movies, people are kind of on both sides about. Overall, I think they're not too bad. I'm a big fan of them. The ones that just came out on Crunchyroll, the remaster is, I don't know. The remaster, they took out a bunch of scenes and shortened it to like 30, 40 minutes from like an hour and 20-minute show, so it seems kind of a synopsis. It's really intense in some parts, but overall it is so good. It's just a cool story. Plus it's interesting finding it originally was like, it's anime but medieval. It's like, what? I've never seen this before. It's an interesting mix. Sadly, the mangaka, oh, that's embarrassing, I can't remember his name, passed away a while ago, which was super sad. But he did, I think some friends of his were trying to jump back in. It's, yeah. I think Crunchyroll has, I think the movies, I think Netflix has most of it. At least the movies in the 2016. 2016 is, that one I watched it just since it was there. But the 6.5 rating is actually a little bit on the generous side. It is a sight to behold. Something else, which is sad because the chapters they cover are so good. They just weren't able to quite articulate them what they're hoping for. Hopefully they remake it one day. We'll see. I wasn't expecting the remaster that Crunchyroll did, but at least that's a good sign. They're still looking at it, and they have some form of copyright. Of course, copyright's stupid complicated. Just so annoying. It's like whole reason Ava couldn't get onto a streaming services because it was like in this weird copyright like limbo for a decade. So many good shows stopped by copyright. It's like I'd pay the money if I could watch it. But nope. I'm not a lawyer, so copyright just so many caveats to everything. But with Sony buying out Crunchyroll, hopefully they're able to work some deals out with some more companies, get some cool stuff going. Maybe. Sony's pretty good on the copyright offensive. I'm not sure how well they do on the opposite end. Maybe, we can only hope though. Maybe they'll be able to figure stuff out. Keep forgetting that Crunchyroll and Funimation merged though. Still having to pay full subscriptions. So kind of cool if they hurried that part up, but I guess that's not their biggest priority. Hopefully soon they can get their stuff together. At least they're not too expensive individually. But one payment looks nice. I'd take that. Oh, there's an Alienware kit. I like that one. These Zone 4s felt so good a second ago. Zwift is just being mean. They really get it. No one wants to throw at you. To make things interesting. And today is Zone 4. Well, I guess from the looks of the map, the graph, I know. They're keeping such an even keel. Like that's some crazy speed. That's honestly really, really impressive. And for what, 19 and 26 kilometers, like that's, they have not really changed pace at all too. It's pretty cool. They're probably getting some really decent. Oh really? Hey Zero, how's it going? That makes more sense. I was wondering about it. That had Wahoo behind it. That makes so much sense. Honestly, look at him go. I remember around this time of year, my cross country team would do this eggnog run where they do like loops around a small course and drink a bunch of eggnog as they went. It was interesting. It got messy really fast. It was kind of funny, especially watching everybody. Luckily I was sick those days, air quotes. Made it fun to watch everybody. They'd put like food coloring in it, so you could tell who was where. Oh. Man, those guys in front of us are just not playing around. That is so cool. We'll let them do their thing, be all super fast. I keep getting all, oh, the Premier Leagues, okay. I was wondering about that. I had seen NXT a few times, I was wondering who those were. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, milk and bananas before a workout. Oh, that would be so painful. I found the trick to pre-workout food is either nothing or orange juice and like lemonade and stuff tastes the same coming out as it does going in. So like on big lift days, I was like, okay, you know, just in case. Yeah, about an hour is my max for food. If I eat any sooner than that, it makes my tummy hurt. It's never fun. I remember, what was it? There was one race that I accidentally had yogurt, like 45, actually it was a while before, and for some reason, it just sat there and made an escape at the end. Not fun. There's some foods that work out pretty well, and there's some, it's like I can't even have them within the same day as a race or a ride. Otherwise they are quickly making an escape, which is not fun. There's been, yeah. I remember one race, they had to cut me from the live stream because I kind of threw up on their plants and almost on their cameras. Exactly. It's like, you know, there's distance left and you just know it's not going to work. It's so bad. But at least on the upside, you always feel, you know, accomplished. You're able to push to the point that your stomach stops digesting and sends it back up. Not very comfortable in the time being, but afterwards it feels kind of hardcore. There was a few times coming across the line on some races that I was like ushered over to medical tents because they thought I was dehydrated. It's like, no, I just made poor food choices before the race. all good on liquids, just bad on planning. Always interesting. Look, that doesn't usually happen until either extremely long workouts or super heavy duty. Other than deadlifts, those always made my stomach hurt no matter what. Every PR was like, I might lose my lunch. And, you know, being in the gym, there's not like a good place to do it. At least when you're riding or running or swimming, you can kind of let it into the environment wherever it is. Puke in some bushes. It's like squats and bench, okay. Deadlift, man, you had to watch out. These 15 seconds were I was so hopeful about them in the beginning. And they are coming back to bite us. Zone 5 is mean. But luckily, looks like we're almost there. Yeah, that's I remember Jake, especially in like the beginning of races, it's like a washing machine of just arms and legs and broken goggles and and you get hit and you're, like you said, so far out from the shore. I remember drafting off somebody and looking underwater and being like, wow, the surface is super close. And I realized that there was a person that was like right underneath me that the person in front of me had run over and then I had run over. That was, open water starts. Those are just some of the most horrible things. They are super fun because you can just kind of go to town. And it's an adrenaline rush, but once you get hit in the face a few times, that the adrenaline wears off and you realize you still got a lot of distance. So many times of trying to do a sighting to see where I was going and trying to pop the goggles into place at the same time. Yeah, I felt so bad. I was like, that was a person. I'm so sorry. I've had a couple close calls like that, but not completely run over. Not the most fun. The Tier custom goggles with the really heavy gaskets were super nice since they kind of absorb a little bit of the hit. Those were always my go-to, except I was using a Roku wetsuits, and so they're super tight, and taking them off would always get my goggles stuck in the arms, and I've broken so many pairs of goggles that way. Makes it interesting. I'd always, pool workouts were like, Swedish goggles were the way to go. You can still keep them when jumping off the blocks, but definitely this thicker gasket goggles for open water, those were the way to go. love those things. We're almost out of water. Luckily in non-ITU triathlons, the swim is a little bit easier to work with. ITUs, it's like, since you're jumping onto a draft pack, if the swim's not good, all of it's bad. Yeah, the clear ones, honestly, I love those things. The tinted were nice when you sighted, but when you're underwater, it's like everything's so dark. Can't see anything. I always like the Swedish, just like clear plastic cup versions with a bungee cord. Those were by far my favorite. Usually slight tint ones for outdoor, if it was bright. Sometimes when it was overcast, you just couldn't see anything. Yeah, the non-ITU ones, I'd gotten a couple penalties from just being within like 50 feet of people. The ITU ones are, those ones are, they have like no races around the US. There's, where was it? Mostly like Washington had a lot of them, or at least a big one every year. I understand why they do the draft legal ones in the Olympics, but my bike was never the best, so the draft legal ones were hard. But the regular USAT ones, they were so quick on penalties. It's like if you passed on, I think it was the left side, you got a penalty, or the right side, yeah, on the inside, you got a penalty. Helmet, if you touched it too soon, that one goes for the same for ITU, but they're more than happy to give out all sorts of penalties. Oh, that's I remember in the ITU ones, it's like you miss the TT bike so much when you're by yourself. When you're in the group, it's, you know, drafting, but you quickly lose that arrow, and it's so sad. I lost some wheels a couple times coming out of corners in ITUs, and it's impossible to catch back up to groups. Those are good, but man, I remember one time in an ITU, I crashed coming into T2. Just kind of slid my way in, and I had to readjust my helmet, and since I touched the buckle, it gave me like a 30-second penalty, even though I had slid my way in. But they're pretty strict. They like check everybody's zones during each transition and give housekeeping penalties out like candy. Yeah, the ITU ones they're definitely cool. They are intense. Always good to try them out though. They're hard to track down, since they're like technically part of USAT, but not 100% under USAT. The points go to different places. Like, all my USAT points didn't cross over to my ITU points. Yeah, that was the nice part about the ITU ones, is they're a little bit more structured. So the bucket, you put all your stuff in. That's the way to do it. I've lost so many like goo shots and stuff in T2. It's a nightmare. It's like you go for a shot block or something and somebody has accidentally procured it, that's the word, procured it without you knowing. Always frustrating. That's so funny. I can't imagine, like, you imagine grabbing a water bottle and being like, wow, that's some spicy water. That would be something else. There's definitely some positives to the ITUs. There's negatives, but there's some good parts. Usually the tri-suits that they have are a little bit different. I like it. I like the trade-off. Water bottle for TT bike, equivalent exchange. I think that's the way to do it. That's so funny. I wonder how the new aero kind of bikes are affected by the ITU rulings. Because I know that they were super, super strict, like weigh-ins before the races and right before the races, and aero bars couldn't go past your regular handlebars if you had them. And I wonder how like the new, like, you know, aero roads and that kind of stuff is affected. If they have any rulings on that. I wouldn't think so, but ITU definitely has a rule book that is way too big. At least in my opinion. I was bugged by it. Also because a couple of those rules came to bite me. They're strict. But at least they're fair about it. It's like if one person's gonna get a penalty, you know for sure everybody else that does anything close to that gets a penalty. They're okay about that part. Even though the overall experience is kind of, yeah. The bike's also really scary because they have a group that's right in front of the lead pack. And if you get passed by them, you're out. See you later. Have a good day or good ride later, whatever you're doing. ITUs were a good experience, but they're a little frustrating to try to remember all the rules and the regulations you had to follow. And at least with regular USAT stuff, it's like, as long as you're on the course, you're pretty okay. No drafting and staying on the course, and you're golden. But actually, I take that back. That's the way I thought about it, and I remember getting some passing violations. So maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention, and that was why it feels so different. Plus, penalties are just the worst. Especially when you're in a group. It's like 10 seconds can mean first to 10th, you know. everybody's usually within like the same bunching. And you get a penalty and you go way to the back of the pack. Super frustrating. But all the more reason to not get penalized. It's a little bit sad. Man, those two in front of us, they are gone. That is so cool. That makes sense, you know. They have the sponsorships and teams. You can't just get there easily. Whew. There we go. Let's spin out for a second longer. We'll go to like, let's see, 32, 33 kilometers. Just enough to try to get the legs a little more stretched out. There we go. We'll just keep high cadence. Try to flush just a little bit. Also, we need to get more water. I have neglected the water today. All right, there we go. A little bit more. I was worried if we preloaded the water too much on that warm-up that it's going to cause us problems, but it seemed like it worked out okay. Not too much. There we go. Okay, so it looks like we got this downhill. We'll wrap around the corner. We should be good to go. And then we'll see tomorrow how that TSS 100 is gonna feel. We'll have to do a warm up before that. What was it, 20 something kilometers? Like that short warm up that we did before definitely paid off. We'll have to do that again. Much better starting out. I like these newer workouts, how they have the elongated zone 3, zone 4 work, but it's only like 12 minutes overall. Definitely doesn't warm up completely. So we'll have to do 2.2, 2.3 easy warm up. Just stick with the pack for a while, and then we can hop in. I think it's, we'll have to check, but I think the workout itself is only like 56 minutes. It's definitely all high-end stuff. So we're gonna deplete the energy very quick, but and we'll probably get an okay amount of mileage out of it. We'll see. Hopefully. All right, 32.8. Let's drop another gear, spin it up a little bit more. Actually, in 0.8 kilometers, we have the, oh, we already got the segment then, never mind. I thought we were gonna get another segment. Not quite. Almost. All right, 33.1. There we go. Finishing up just a little bit later than usual. That's okay. Let's save that. I thought I hit the delete button. That scared me so bad. I was close. All right, let's see. So we got plans, view plan, shove in. All right, so we got power intervals number 3. So it looks like we have like AC work and then the, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And then this for Saturday. Now we might, you know what we could do, is if we do these two on Saturday, just knock both of these out, that might be a good kind of recovery. Let's see, what does week 8 look like? I don't think we have another 100. Okay, so we have some, oh, these are way nicer than our previous AC intervals. That is nothing in comparison. Okay. That one, kind of depletion, so that'll be interesting. Neuromuscular, that's going to be fun. 98. Okay, so this is the easier version. Well, a little bit easier, what they said. Low RPM. Okay, so they have RPM sets on those. So we're going ramp down and then a sprint, but not as high. And then 64, 62, and that will be it. Except we do need to finish this one. We might have to mix it up a little bit over the weekend. Try to knock out all the stuff we can. Cool. All right, so for the time being, we're planning that for tomorrow. That's gonna be, it's gonna be something else. That's gonna be fun. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a nice warm up, pump as much caffeine as we can, and hope for the best. Thank you all for coming. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good ride if you're gonna do that later. I'll see you all tomorrow. We'll see if we can get a schedule going and hopefully be able to stick to that. The new parts for the PC are coming in, so we can get a little bit more stability on the streams itself. But that should be hopefully coming up here soon. Thank you all. See you later.